and he brought an Injil to the Jews, right? The Jews should believe in Isa and the Injil. Is that correct? Right. Well, the Quran identifies people who believe in Isa and the Injil as Christians, people of the gospel. Right? Are you aware of that? Right. So if these Jews are now Christians, when the Quran says that the Jews should believe in the Torah, who's it talking about?
Jews, when the Quran says...
You're not following it, are you?
No, just repeat the question.
Right. Allah sent Jesus to the Jews with an Injil. And the Jews are now Jews that believe in Jesus are now identified as Christians. Right. But the Quran also says that the Jews should believe in the Torah. This is after Jesus. So what is he talking about? Because Jews should be Christians.
Okay, so they can follow one revelation, they can follow a different revelation as well.
So you can pick and choose which revelation you believe in?
I mean, they can follow all the revelations, isn't it?
You can follow all the revelations. So a Jew doesn't have to follow the Injil, they can stick with the Torah.
No, I'm saying follow all the revelations.
So a Jew should believe in the Injil, right?
Yes.
All right, I'll see you down there. Bro. Right. So
I don't really see the issue.
I'm going to show you the issue. Yeah. Okay. Let me show you the issue. He wants to pull you away. Listen to this, right?
Am I welcome to start?
Yeah, of course you are. Yeah. So long as we can
interject?
So long as we can. So long as we. Yeah, it's on camera. Yeah. So long as it. Right. He's already started to interrupt. Okay. So. No. They're running away.
I'll give you a channel reference if you want to put it on
No, we're not.
Our channel.
We're not. We're going to just edit it out, JC.
No adverts on our channel.
We're just going to edit it out. We're going to edit it out. We're going to edit it out. So the thing is, what you've seen is he's interrupted me. So I want you to remember that I will interrupt him at some point in the future.
And
so
I'll
that's
interrupt you right back,
people that I'm going to be interrupting going forward.
It's one God.
Yeah, that's 3. Okay. Not this week, but it'll happen. You see that look guys, you've got it on camera. The Muslims are literally scared of us. They're literally running away from debate. We've got them on the run and we're capturing it on camera for you. Every time we get the upper hand in a debate, they're scarpering. And that's because intellectually the Dawah teams are broken and beaten and their arguments are defeated. And all they have is to target gullible Christians who've never learnt apologetics, and any Christian who's learnt apologetics or learnt the Quran that can challenge them in argument, they run from. And that's what you're seeing again and again and again. So remember that. Okie dokie. So my question's a simple one. My question is a simple one. According to the Quran, who was Jesus sent to?
Who cares?
Maybe you're not a Muslim, so that's fine. Are you not a Muslim?
I don't even understand what you're talking about.
Sure. Are you not a Muslim? Are you a Muslim?
What is Muslim?
Okay, so that's fine. I won't ask you to answer for Muslims. Are there any Muslims listening? No? Fair enough. There's no one to answer this question. So we'll just look for someone who can. Okay. Right.
Answer questions.
Yeah, I answer questions. Have you got a question? What, sorry?
What is God?
What is God?
Or Allah?
Well,
Have a name.
We don't call him Allah.
Okay.
We don't call him Allah. But God is the creator. He is the uncreated creator of all of the things.
What do you know about it?
What do we know about God?
Yeah, I can say the X created.
Yeah.
I call it X.
Yes.
I can call it,
yes.
We
call it God. Yes.
God.
Yes.
It's just a name. I'm interested what is behind the name.
Yeah. I'm going to give you that. So there are things that we can logically deduce about God just by thinking. So we know that God, that creator, cannot himself have a beginning, because a chain of creation cannot go on infinitely.
So you don't know the answer, in other words?
No, I'm literally answering you. I'm giving you an answer. You can engage with it or you don't. It's up to you.
I'm engaging you.
Right. So
I'm just saying you're not answering.
Did I miss the question? What's the question?
Yeah,
Sorry, did I miss the question?
This God, they cannot be beyond what you call God.
No, that's not what I said. I said that God cannot have a beginning. That's something that we can logically deduce.
How do you know it cannot be beginning?
Great question, and I'll answer that. Because it makes no sense to have an infinite cause of causality.
We don't know.
No, it makes no sense to have an infinite cause of causality.
It makes sense to you,
Yeah?
but not to me.
Well, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Let me ask you this question. What is infinity divided by infinity?
I'm not a top scientist. All I know, there is this question, how this world came about. I don't know.
Well, if you're just here to say you don't know, you don't know.
You claim you know.
Let me just say something. Since you said you reference top scientists, physicists talk about the beginning of the universe. The universe has a beginning. We observe that.
Talk about scientists.
No, we are, because you said, when I asked you the question,
I am not.
you said you're not a top scientist. What I'm saying to you is that scientists also recognize that the universe has a beginning. So empirically, we can observe that the universe has a beginning. Now, if the universe has a beginning,
I don't know.
I do.
You
I
don't,
do.
so you prove
I do.
it to us.
Yes. The universe does have a beginning. And we can see that through things like redshift. The redshift, we can see that through things like cosmic background radiation.
Okay, you know
we can
it
see
had a
that.
beginning,
We can
right?
see that
You just
the
said,
universe
you
had
know
a beginning.
It had a beginning.
That's a scientific fact.
Okay, what was that beginning?
Right, so that beginning was when the known universe expanded from a singularity. Now the point is, the thing that causes that can't be the thing itself. You can't have a beginning to the beginning. Because when time and space expands from this singularity, time begins with it.
Okay.
So the thing that causes that to begin stands outside of time, and that we call God. So God is timeless. That's something we can know about God through observation.
But the scientists come up with similar things, don't they? Outside, they come up with, but they don't call God.
So it's a very good point. So scientists, when they study the universe, right, they find that the universe is so... Yeah, we're being recorded.
I do mind. If you don't mind.
Yeah. So that's fine. He's filming me. So scientists, when they look at the universe, right, they find that the universe exists within such narrow parameters, right, in every direction that they look, in everything that they look. The universe exists in such clearly precise parameters that it looks designed. And the only way that scientists can get out of this problem, because you're right, they don't want to say it's God, the only way they can get out of this problem is to hypothesize the idea of an infinite number of universes. But they have no evidence that there are infinite numbers of universes. The only evidence that we have is that there's one universe. But when we look at that one universe, it looks designed. And that's not me saying it, that's scientists saying it.
I'm not defending scientists.
Right. So,
I'm just asking questions.
that is fine, and I'm answering questions.
I'm asking your answer.
Yes.
I'm questioning your ideas.
Go on, that's fine.
You just said the world.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The world.
The universe.
The universe.
Yeah.
The universe is the world, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah. We can use the two words interchangeably. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The universe is created.
Yeah.
So you're already making a statement that the world has been created. You have to define what creation means.
Creation means that it has a contingent beginning. So it means that.
Contingent.
Yeah, I'm going to explain. Contingent beginning means that it has a beginning that is caused. That's what creation. That's what I mean by creation. That it has a beginning that is caused.
So there was something out of that. Something has been created out of that.
I would say that there is.
Or out of nothing.
There was nothing, and then there was something.
There was something.
Yeah.
Okay. So can we say how the world came about?
Yeah, of course we can.
Are you happy with that?
We can say how the world came about in multiple different ways. We can say how the world came about in terms of describing the mechanics. And that's what the study of science is about. We study the mechanics of how the world comes about. But then we can talk about how the world came about in terms of its meaning as well. Like, what is its significance? The fact that we can even ask that question demonstrates it's a question that can be asked.
Yeah, we can ask that a bit later, but at the moment I'm just trying to find out how you think the world has came about.
I believe
it could include creation as well.
Yeah.
But let's say how this came about. And
so I believe that God has worked through natural processes that we can observe and experimentally test.
Okay, next question is what is God?
And so God, as I go back to the beginning, because now we're kind of circling ourselves, going back to the beginning, God is the uncreated creator. So he's not part of the universe that he creates, but he creates the universe.
But that's what Muslim says.
Yes, and on that point I agree with them.
Okay.
Just because Muslims say it doesn't mean that I have to deny it.
Okay, according to your description, we still don't know much about this God.
Brilliant question.
Yeah.
So here's how we know as Christians.
Oh, hello.
Here's how we believe. Are we done?
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as Christians, we believe as Christians that when we look at Jesus Christ, we can see God. Jesus said, "I and the Father." I'm going to explain. So Christ is described as the image of the invisible God. Christ, yes, Christ is the Messiah, the Jewish Messiah prophesied by Jewish prophecy.
He was a human being.
Yes, he was a human being, yes.
And his name was?
Jesus Christ. Well, in English we say Jesus Christ.
Okay, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Right? That Christ is a title, Jesus is the name. Hebrew we would say Yeshua.
Okay, Jesus.
Right?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay. So in terms of how what we believe about Jesus Christ, we say that he is the image of the invisible God. That when we see him, we see the Father.
So God was like a human, like Jesus.
So God becomes human.
That's what.
No, there's a difference between what I'm saying and what you're hearing. God. Yeah. God.
I will come to that in a minute.
Yeah. Sorry. Where are you coming from? What's your perspective? What religion are you? So a non-Christian then? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah. There's only yes. These are Christians. These are Christians. No, Unitarians. Unitarians only emerged in the 1700s. Christianity started 2,000 years ago. Yes. You don't know history. You don't know history.
Okay.
Where did the Unitarian Church start?
Listen to me.
Where did the Unitarians start? Okay. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Yeah, you did ruin it. 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 We were having a nice conversation. He was asking questions. Okay, another time. Where did the Unitarian Church start? Where did it start?
From the beginning, from Paul.
No, it started in England. It started in England. It started in England in the 1700s.
Oh, yeah.
Show me a Unitarian in the 10th century.
Because they're Christians.
So show me one in the 10th century.
Ask you a question.
No. You interrupted my conversation.
What is your
so now you answer my question. Show me a Unitarian in the 10th century. Show me a Unitarian in the 10th century. You don't.
All of them.
And shall I tell you? No, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not even from Europe. You don't know European history. Let me tell you.
I'm from Jerusalem.
Let me tell you European history.
From Europe, you think Jesus
Let me
from
tell you
Europe?
European history.
You Irish Catholic.
Let me tell me European history.
Irish Catholic, you do know about Christianity.
In the 10th century, there was one church, and it was a Trinitarian church.
Talking and listen,
No. You interrupted my conversation.
But you're fucking talking.
No, you interrupted my conversation. Yeah, go on, ask your question.
Okay.
Go on, ask your question.
Finish John 17. Finish it to the end.
What do you mean? Finish it. What does that prove?
Read it.
What does that prove?
Read it.
What does it prove?
Fuck off.
There.
Read it.
There you go. Unitarians, you got nothing.
Well, you
got nothing.
So where you can?
You know what it is? You know what it is?
Yes.
You know why you're angry? It's because you don't have an argument and you're being embarrassed.
You come from Ireland and
Let's
you think
look.
you know
Let's
about
look.
Christianity more.
I'm a European. You know nothing about European history, bro. You're trying to tell me the history of my own continent.
This is European.
Okay.
This is European, you idiot.
Let's just look.
This is from my
Let's
country.
look at just 17. Let's look
I'm
at
from
John
Bethlehem, from
17.
his place.
Let's look at John 17. Yeah.
No, why
Okay.
you have to read it? You can't remember.
The
it?
church
You
in
can't
the
remember
church
it?
in Palestine. The
Yeah.
church in Palestine is a Trinitarian church. You don't know what you're talking about.
This is according
These
to-
are my brothers and sisters.
You are Irish, no?
Palestinian
You are
Christians
Irish, yes?
are Trinitarians.
You're Irish, you belong to the
You
Vatican.
betrayed
You
that
believe-
church. I'm not even convinced you are a Unitarian Christian.
you need
I actually think you're a Muslim pretending to be a Christian. So, let's have a look at John 17:3. Say Muhammad's a false prophet for me. Say Muhammad's a false
I have
prophet.
respect.
Ah, so you're not. He's not a Christian. He's not a Christian.
Paul is a motherfucker.
He's not. There you go. Paul is a motherfucker. What Christian would say Paul is a motherfucker? Why is it that Muslims
Because he
pretend
twisted
to be
like
Christians?
you.
He's pretending to be a Christian and he's just called Paul a motherfucker.
Yes.
What Christian would condemn Paul as a motherfucker?
He was a killer.
There you go.
God
There you
gave him
go.
nobody
He's
singing.
exposed himself once again as a Muslim pretending
Because Paul, who corrupted
to be a Christian.
Paul who corrupted.
There you go. Desperate. That's how desperate the Muslims are. Now Muhammadan. Now Muhammadan. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at John 17. Let's do a Bible study together.
Yes, you have to look at this only way.
Let's look at John 17.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know the Quran off by heart? 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 What does that prove exactly? Right. So let's have a look at this passage, John 17. Let's study it together.
What is
Okay.
study? Just read.
Why are you frightened? Let's study it together. Stop being scared. You interrupted my conversation. You swore at me. You got aggressive at me. You demanded I read it, John 17.
You're from Ireland and you
Why are
talk
you
about
so
my
scared?
country.
Why are you so
from what?
scared?
Scared from what?
I was talking about European history. I
Scared
never
from what?
mentioned Jerusalem. I never mentioned Palestine.
The Bible is European history.
Let's have a look.
Jesus
Let's have a
is
look.
from
John
London.
17. Don't be frightened,
There
Muhammadan.
is the new Amsterdam.
Don't be frightened, Muhammadan. So, listen.
Don't
Jesus
accuse me
spoke
with
these
stupid.
things, and life. Right. Jesus spoke these things, and lifting up his eyes to heaven, he said,
Yeah.
"Father, the hour has come. Glorify your Son."
Yes.
Tell me, is Jesus the Son of the Father?
Yes.
He is.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Does the Father ever change?
Spiritual. He's spiritual.
Does the Father ever change?
The Father never changed.
Was the Father always the Father?
Of course.
There you go. If the Father was always the Father, who was he the Father to?
What?
You see, you're not even listening to your own answers, are you?
What is your question?
Let's do this again slowly so you can keep up this time. Are you listening? Are you listening?
Yes, Irish. Yes.
Are you listening?
Yes, Irish.
Are you listening? Right.
you-
Yes, Muhammadan.
Yes, yes.
So,
Yes.
you've said Jesus is the Son of the Father.
Yes.
Brilliant. You've said that the Father never changes.
Yes.
Has he always been the Father?
Yes.
Of who?
Who's the fool? The Father.
Of who?
We don't twist the meaning.
Now answer the question.
When I say the Father, it means the God.
Who was he the Father to?
To Jesus.
To Jesus.
Yes.
So he was eternally the Father to Jesus. Is that correct?
No, of course not.
So he became the Father.
Yes.
So he changes.
He doesn't change. This is
So he doesn't change.
this is title.
So he's always been the Father.
You are always the person, and if
Right.
you father
So
somebody,
we've
it doesn't
exposed
change.
we've exposed the first line. Let's press on
But I
and
ask you to
continue
read
to study.
something. No,
We are
not
reading
the
it.
Father except
We are
the
reading
Father.
it.
He's not
Listen.
the Father. No,
Listen.
come to the Father.
Are you listening? Are you listening? Right. Listen. Jesus speaks and he says, "Glorify your Son." Right?
Yes.
So does the Father worship Jesus?
He glorify, not worship.
What's worship?
What?
You don't know what worship is, do you? There you go. He's busted. He's busted. He's busted. He's busted. You're busted, bro. You're busted, bro.
This is my best.
Yeah, he's a beautiful dog.
So you'll understand.
He's a beautiful dog.
So understand.
Right?
And don't talk about
Listen,
Jerusalem and
listen.
don't talk about
I never
Europe.
mentioned Jerusalem. I mentioned how ignorant
So
you were of
Jesus
European
came from
history.
London, from
So,
Cork. You
coming
from-
back to this,
you
coming
originally
back to
from
the
Cork, or
scriptures,
no?
coming back to the
Are you
scriptures,
originally from
coming
Cork,
back
or
to
no?
the scriptures, coming back to the
I
scriptures.
ask you to read.
Does the Father worship the Son?
What?
Does the Father worship the Son?
Not. How?
Of course
The
not.
Son worship the
What
Father.
does glorify mean?
Glorified? Anybody?
What does glorify mean?
We can have a glorified body.
He knows. What does glorify mean?
What is a glorifying? We're gonna
Right.
have a glorified
When you,
body.
I'm going.
Am I
Stop
right or
touching.
not?
Stop touching, please. Stop touching, please. Bye bye. Bye bye. Right.
I don't want to get it wrong.
Okay. Yeah. So let's be clear, guys. Let's be clear, because Muslims make this argument. They say, if Jesus is God, why doesn't the Father worship the Son? Listen to what Jesus says. Jesus says in the Muslims' favorite verse, Jesus says, Father, the hour has come, glorify your Son. To glorify the Son is to worship the Son.
What I was going to say.
To glorify the Son is to worship the Son. And Jesus just said to the Father, glorify your Son. And for what reason? So that the Son may glorify you. So the Father is glorifying the Son, and the Son is glorifying the Father. When the Son glorifies the Father, the Muslims say this proves that he's not God because he's worshipping the Father. So what do they say when the Father glorifies the Son? I would like an answer to that question. Hashim won't answer that question. Ali Dawah won't answer that question.
I didn't want to give you the wrong answer.
No, you did fine. You did fine.
Funny enough, I would have said the second.
Yeah.
one, but-
There we go.